For many people in the northern hemisphere, currently summer is coming, and therefore the excitement for vacation is also coming up. With vacation, however, you want to travel outside, you like to visit the Caribbean, and with that, you usually pay for the plane ticket, the hotel, and possibly also the rental car. This means a huge expense in every man's yearly balance sheet, and therefore the question comes, who is on the other side? Who does make money with that? And can you also make money with that too? In this video, we are going to talk about Airbnb and Marriott, two companies that are serving the same audience, but from really different backgrounds. One is a traditional company that exists for multiple decades, whilst the other is a tech company trying to take the reign from traditional hotel companies. Stay tuned. We will continue right after the intro.
Hello and welcome to another video here at Bloomberg Capital. My name is Henrik and I have Patrick, my esteemed colleague, here with me. Now, in this video, we'll be taking a look at Airbnb. We already made a video on that a couple of months back in which we highlighted the potential that this stock holds. Now, in the meantime, the entire market was kind of torn down, but now we are finally back to a similar spot as we were before. This also means that our outlook from back then is valid again, and we're seeing a lot of potential with both Airbnb, but also another company named Marriott International, which is a more traditional hotel company, which also holds a lot of potential. Now, of course, as already stated, there are a lot of people who want to go to vacation again, now that summer is slowly coming, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. But also a potential economic collapse in the USA has been, at least for the moment, fended off. However, there is even more behind Airbnb's vision. Until now, Airbnb was merely a platform for accommodations, but that is about to change. In the future, Airbnb intends to offer services such as massages or cooking classes. CEO Brian Chesky said that hotels have something we do not have: services. This means that while on vacation, one can avail themselves of additional amenities traditionally only found in hotels. Moreover, the ambition extends beyond tourism. These services are envisioned to be embraced in everyday life as well. Thus, Airbnb is set to evolve not only into a stronger competitor against hotels, but also into a central hub for all kinds of services. The goal is to transform the platform from an app used once or twice a year into one that becomes an integral part of a daily routine. Essentially, the new Amazon of services. But what do you think? Do you think this new idea has any merit?
I think we have seen lots of tech companies endeavor such goals. For instance, Uber also did try to really be a competitor with traditional taxi companies, and they somewhat succeeded, in my opinion. When you think of a taxi, you think of an Uber, not of a taxi. And this should continue, and we should also see that coming for tourism. However, I think that tourism is a lot more difficult because it's bound to seasonal happenings as well as fundamental things that can change on a dime. And so far, I lack the vision, or I'm not so sure how this vision from the CEO from Airbnb can be executed well. And therefore, I remain open-minded. However, I think we should be a little bit more reserved when it comes to just taking the promises of a CEO for granted.
Well, that's very true. Airbnb's vision certainly has a lot of potential, but it remains to be seen how it is actually executed. Now, for those who have less faith in the ideas of Airbnb, you can also try to just invest in a more traditional hotel business, mainly Marriott, which is amongst one of the biggest companies in the world, with thousands of properties and hundreds of thousands of workers and hundreds of thousands of employees. Now, so far, both of these stocks have been very, very similar. So you can invest into either one, but it remains to be seen how these will potentially diverge with Airbnb's new vision. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts.
One thing that we can note with Airbnb's chart is that it's fairly recent. It had its IPO in 2021 and it rose to a price maximum of 217 and then more or less collapsed and didn't do anything anymore and is still hovering around its IPO price. Whoever bought at the high of 217 has never seen that price again and is still waiting to break even. Therefore, we can conclude that Airbnb's chart is definitely much more risky risky and it has much less price history, and everyone who had basically bought into the idea will probably be looking to exit the stock once we reach the higher prices. However, in the short term, we do see that the current low that has formed at the level of exactly $100 has now been confirmed, and we should see a significant uptrend from here. The low of 100 shall not be violated again, and if that happens to be the case, we should see Airbnb attempt to rally towards 217, and then it really depends if it can break the supply that would be coming here from early buyers, and if it can overcome that, there's many more multiples in potential gains to come, gains that we cannot quantify yet, but it will be multiples from the current level of 144. So therefore, Airbnb is definitely higher risk, but there is also the reward aspect to it, because it could outperform easily anything as long as it remains above 217, which it hasn't reached yet, but will likely do so in the future. Now, comparing that to Marriott, we can see that there is multiple decades of price history that supports a macro uptrend. Therefore, the price is less likely to be held up by the high that was created at the level of 307, and we should see significantly less supply at this level because there's simply less people who have bought that stock and still have their average price right here, and therefore it is much more easy for Marriott to reclaim that top and make new all-time highs altogether. Now, there isn't multiples in money to make here from the current price of 273, but the risk for downside is also significantly diminished because, as we can see, the price did get supported on the prior level of 204, which tells us that buyers are looking at this level and they were ready to step in to push the price higher with even a better quality than we had from the prior rise to the all-time high. Therefore, we think Marriott has less risk, but also less reward. But in the markets, it's also about risking the least and making the highest possible reward.
And if you're interested to see when we will buy into either Airbnb or Marriott International, you can check out our Discord. Links to that below in the description. And if you'd like to just test it out for a bit, you're in luck, because now we're offering the option for a free Discord where you can just check it out and make your mind up later. And with that, I wish you a good week, and until next time, here at Bloomberg Capital.
Good luck trading, and until next time at Bloomberg Capital.